I just wondering at what point does it get, do you have to pay, did the woman have to pay when they go out? The guy is asking that there should be half and half at that point when you already,
At what point?
when you already been dating for 4 or 5 months.
Welcome back. I haven't posted on this channel for a while, and I've been playing a lot of games outside of my other channel. So I'm like, you know what? While I'm playing some Lost Ark, let me just do some commentary stuff because I love watching videos. And I noticed that this video was making rounds on the internet. And before everyone comes up and they're like, oh my god, you're one of those freaking men's activist people, and you say that with a malicious tone, I will have you know that I have men in my life that I love very much. My spouse, my father, my twin brothers, my uncle, my male friends. Like, there are so many people in my life that are males. As a matter of fact, being a tomboy, I grew up mostly with male friends. And I cannot ignore when there are blatant double standards out there when it comes to women and men. Just like I cannot ignore when there are some misogynistic men out there. There are. The difference that I'm seeing today, and I know people don't like me talking about this, and I know you're probably gonna be like, oh, well, that's it, I'm done with you. I understand. The difference is that when women come out and speak about what they don't like about males, everyone is, yes, queen, yes, yes, yes. Nobody bats an eye. They don't get canceled for it. But the minute a woman or a man comes out and says, you know, you shouldn't treat men like that, or it's not funny when a woman abuses or hits her man as a prank or a joke, but it's not funny if he does the same to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are just things that I just don't agree with. And I don't want people to think that it's just women on the side of the aisle that are okay with how men are being treated. It is not okay for men or women to be treated that way. And it doesn't mean that because some assholes in the past treated women that way, that means that you should treat every man that way and every man is the same. That's not true. My father is one of the kindest people you will ever meet, sweetest people you ever meet. And it breaks my heart when people use his kindness to take advantage of him or treat him badly. I will break somebody's neck if they hurt my father. Like, I see TikTok videos and videos out there talking about men ain't this, men ain't that, and all I can see is the person with that bitterness in their heart, and then look at someone like my dad or my brothers or my spouse, and they're like, okay, you saying that is a blanket statement that covers the men in my life that are not like that. Most of the men that I know, most human beings are not like that. So that's why I talk about this stuff, because if men say it, something's wrong with them, apparently. So I watched this video, I listened to it, and it's very interesting because I've never seen, I think his name is Matthew Hussey. Funny last name, I know, right? But I've never seen him actually talk like this, and it's very refreshing that you be honest. I don't know why men get flack for being honest about their preferences or how they feel, and it's true. This woman is asking, at what point should I pay for half and half? Like, she doesn't want to pay for half and half. Why would you not want to do that? As a point of me being independent and not liking taking advantage of people, I always ask. And the thing is, my mom never taught me that. My mom is, well, we don't want to talk about that. But anyway, a lot of the stuff that I learned, it's from experience and also from how I feel. I know that I would not want someone to treat me that way. I know how it feels when girlfriends I've had have taken advantage of me for money. And people in general take advantage of me in general because of my kindness. And I had to learn how to speak up. The person I am right now, how I'm outspoken, I never used to be that person. I used to be painfully shy. I used to be bullied. I was an outcast, and I was just too nice. And I talk about this all the time. I'm open about it because I want to spread awareness and also to let people know, yes, you can overcome those situations like having been taken advantage of as a child, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I was so nice to the point where in those situations where that was happening to me, I didn't want to scream because I was scared, and I also didn't want to get the person in trouble. I felt like if a whole bunch of people came, they would kill that person, and it would be this whole big thing, and I did not want to ruin their life. Even though in the midst of that happening, I was in pain, and they were doing that to me. That's how bad it was. And I had to learn to grow out of that, and not be too nice, because there is such a thing as being too nice. And you cannot do that knowing that you've been in that situation, and then expect a man or anybody else to be the same way. It's not fair.
When you're on a date, who should pay?
I find it very strange that in our society, at this point in time, when women make their own money and make a show of saying that we're independent, I'm happy that we live in a society now where I don't have to be a housewife. I don't want to have kids, period. And I don't want to have to stay home and just stay home because I'm made for breeding. There's some people traditionally, well, that's where they build that. That's what they believe, and that's okay. Me, I don't like that. I would have gone crazy if I was born in like the 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or 20s or whatever, where women didn't have those kinds of rights. And there are a lot of them who were happy because that was the role they grew up with. If that's all you've ever known, that's what you know. But a lot of them were unhappy. And yes, a lot of them were mistreated by their husbands. And I think the reason why is because there was that dynamic where if you don't have rights, you don't have a say in things, you're just property. It just is what it is. Imagine how it must feel to your dog. You can go out there and pet another dog if you want, and your dog being all upset about it, staying home, they have no choice but to smell that aroma of you having given love to another dog and just eat it and be okay with it because you feed them and they can't do any better. I know when I say it like that, it sounds horrible. But in this day and age, if it doesn't work out, you can walk away. You have a choice. And people laud that. They're like, yes, this is amazing. But then, you're there talking down on men and how they're this and how they're that. But yet, you want them to do everything for you. But you're capable of doing, I don't understand. I guess I'm just trying to understand where that's coming from. Everyone's like, they used to be, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I can pay for my own stuff, but the man needs to pay for everything. Why would you even want that? Don't you realize that when somebody does everything for you, you are at their mercy? I don't like people having that much power over me. And it's not just that, I don't like taking advantage of people, but on the flip side of that, I don't like being indebted to people. I don't want to give that much power because if someone is always doing something for me, I'm constantly indebted to them. It's just a very uncomfortable feeling, and I don't understand why women who say they're independent want to put themselves in that situation. And then they get upset when the men don't respect them or they leave or do whatever. You don't give anything to them. You don't bring anything to the table. And Matthew Hussey brings this up later where there is that double standard.
I know. I mean, that's what I told him. I'm sorry.
But-
I would say, I'm dating. We're dating.
But here's the
gentleman here.
okay. He's supposed to pay.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
But you're supposed to have sex with him whenever he says.
No. Whenever Walt
where does this double standard come from? I'm sorry, it's the reality. You guys can moan at it all you want, but the moment you say to a guy, you have to fucking pay for my time, you're saying this relationship isn't equal. This relationship isn't equal. My time is worth more than yours, so you should pay for it.
And let's be honest, it's saying you can be bought. It's saying you're a prostitute. Nobody's saying that, but that's exactly what that is. If you are paying for a woman's time, and that's all that relationship is for you, whether it be physically intimate or emotionally intimate or whatever it is, the minute that you were paying someone to be with you, they are an escort. They are a prostitute. Let's just say what it is. Nobody wants to say it. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what it is, but call it what it is. Don't call it a date. Don't call it a relationship. It's being a prostitute. And if you are that and you're a sex worker or whatever, that's fine. But say what it is. I would not be comfortable if every time I'm with a guy, I'm paying him for his time. That's sad. Ew, what? I can understand if he asked to take me out. If you ask to take someone out, you pay for it. You're asking them, hey, I want to do this for you. That's okay. But if you're in an actual relationship, where do you come off being like, you're the only person who's supposed to ever do stuff for me? And if you want me to reciprocate in any way, I don't have to do that for you, but I expect you to do it for me 100% of the time. What? Fuck off. If somebody came to me and told me that shit, I'd throw water in their face. No way. I wouldn't actually throw water in their face. I'm not that mean, but in my mind, I would. It's just really insulting. And if a man had said that to a woman, if a woman had gone up to a guy and he was like, honey, you need to take me on a date, and she's like, okay, and every time you want to hang out with him, you're expected to pay for his time. But if you want to kiss from him, no, but get off me. Sorry. What? How does no one see anything wrong with this? I'm glad people are coming out and saying it, because you know what? Our mothers did a bad job. I used to think, when I was a Christian, when I was growing up, we used to watch the Disney movies, and this is what it's supposed to be like. The guy is only supposed to find you attractive, and it's always supposed to be 100% him kneeling at your feet and showering you with gifts. That's not real life. Real life doesn't work like that. There's a reason why those movies and those stories are called fairy tales. They're not real. They're Hallmark type stories where everything is in a dream state does it ever happen like that. And for real life adult females to go out here thinking that's how the world works, their mothers failed them. And then when they got to an adult life and they could use critical thinking and they failed to do so, they failed themselves. When I got to an age where I was like, you know what? Oh, this doesn't work this way like religion. God's not gonna just drop someone in my lap. I'm not just gonna see a guy because guys are chasing me and the guy that I like back, you know, is gonna be perfect in every way. You know, no secret? I was a nerdy girl, but I was also very sporty. I kind of dabble in everything. I was very sporty and a lot of guys did like me. And a lot of the guys that were attracted to me were very, very handsome. But guess what? Almost every single one of those guys were players. Every single one. Why? First of all, we were like junior high, high school. Come on now. You're the hot guy of the school. Every girl is literally throwing themselves at you. You can't blame them. They're guys. So me looking at that, I'm like, you know what? As attractive as this person is, I don't want that. And I don't even have that much in common with them. All we have in common is sports and playing sports. Outside of that, they don't like video games the way I do. They're not geeky the way I do. They make fun of my weirdness. And while it's cute to them, the way they make fun of it is like, you're so weird, you weird nerd. And I'm like, oh, and then the kind of girls that they go for, it wasn't my speed. So I did go after guys who were society's norm, like not normal people, like the nerds. And I ended up marrying one. Maybe that's just me. I'm very weird like that. The girls will like Prince Charming in the movies. I will like the freaking gargoyle from Hunchback of Notre Dame. And people like, oh, I like Quasimodo. Oh, I like the prince guy who likes Esmeralda, the cute guy. I like the freaking stone gargoyle. I always liked the weirdest things. Like, it was so strange. They have a boy band or something. Everyone likes the singer. I like the fat drummer in the back. I think girls thought that I was so weird because I found Jack Black highly attractive. Ironically, there was a movie that came out about Shallow Hal, and when I told people that, you know, I have a crush on Jack Black, I think he's hot, the girls look at me like, and they literally said to me, ew, why? And I'm like, cause he's hot? And they're like, he looks like a goblin. And I've dated men that they look at me and they're like, why are you with that person? What, you can do so much better. Like, the two of you don't look normal together. Or guys will try to like flirt with me to steal me away from those guys, you know, cause and then one of the guys had even said to me, when I did break up with the other guy, the fat one, they were like, I always thought it was ridiculous that you guys were together anyway. I mean, you know, it's just off. And I didn't know at the time exactly what they were saying. Like, I knew what they were saying, but I didn't understand the levity of it or the weight of it. One of the times, I think I told the story in another video, this girl, she and I were friends, and she's also pretty. And my boyfriend, he's like the 6 foot something, huge. I mean, he looks like a freaking linebacker. He's really big and bulky and fat, and he just didn't look attractive to other people, but he was attractive to me. I understand he looks nerdy. Now looking at him, you know, I'm like, okay, I can understand why society's norms. You would look at someone like, I don't know, Tom Cruise, and then you look at him, and then you're like, no, you're not gonna get the role because you have a pizza face, and you look weird, and you're fat, and you're weird, and that's just how other people see that. Me personally, when I'm attracted to someone, personality-wise, whatever, I'm attracted to all of them, despite how they look. I'm weird like that. Maybe it's weird, maybe it's not. I don't know. But he came, he walked me to class, and I hugged and kissed him. I was so in love. I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute. And the blonde girl was like, that's your boyfriend? I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's the one you've been talking about. Yeah. Isn't he amazing? She's like, why are you with him? And I'm like, because he's amazing. He was funny. He really was funny. Like, he didn't have much, but he was funny. I don't know. He was funny and cute, and we like stuff, the same stuff, and he was my friend. And she's like, she just looked like this. She looked at the door. He was waving bye to me. And he has this little quirky thing that he used to do where when he's waving, he'll have this big smile, and his teeth were always badly colored. And I know people are probably listening to this like, ew, no. Like, listen, I didn't care, okay? I used to tell him, like, you need to take care of your teeth or they'll fall out. But he used to always have, like, gunky teeth. And he had long brown, like, brunette hair, these bright blue eyes. And he had this geeky face, the geekiest face when he smiled. And she looked at him and she grimaced. And she's like, does he have money? And I'm like, I didn't know what she meant at the time. I thought she meant like if you had a job. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, that helps. I'm like, what? And now that I'm a little older, some years have gone by, I'm like, oh, I get what she was saying. It's okay if the guy's ugly if he makes money because then he can spend it on you. Because that's the kind of girl she was. But me, I was just like, I just like the guy. And I don't have anything against women who are into guys for money. Personally, that's not my thing. Money doesn't faze me. I've had guys who are rich come after me. They're like, oh, they think that because they have a nice car and their father owns this company. I don't give a fuck. Like, if I know that you're that kind of person that I can't trust, I don't care how much money you have. I have my own money. Why do I need yours? However, most women are not like that. And you cannot blame them because I understand now that I'm a little older that women are hypergamous by nature. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I know the MGTOW sphere has a problem with that, and I understand where they're coming from with that. I also understand that unchecked, it's very unattractive, and women do take advantage of men to a horrible degree where they don't give anything in return. However, it is also biological. Women naturally want men who can provide for them. Even if they're not thinking about having kids, they want to know that somebody has money, that their offspring will be taken care of. Or somebody is handsome and fit, that the genes that they will contribute in breeding will beget strong offspring, because strong, attractive offspring have the more potential of getting more resources. The same way that women cannot be mad at men for liking younger, more attractive females. Because more young, attractive females means higher fertility and more babies. I want that to sit there for a while because people are like, yes, you know, we get the bag, but the men get the ass. And it's okay. You see, people think that women get the shitty end of the stick, and they do in a lot of ways. However, it is easier for us because men will literally throw money at us. If we get a lot of resources, we're set. And there are a lot of women who aren't romantic. I'm romantic. That's why I don't care about money. I just want someone who's faithful. I've been cheated on. I've been hurt many times, and it's because I'm too nice. And I did not watch. My mom didn't teach me what to look for. A lot of that was because our mothers honestly didn't teach us. They gave us this religious fairy tale that God has the perfect person. It doesn't work like that. I had to learn that through heartbreak and experience. I don't blame those guys. They were assholes, but you know what? They were also young. Their parents probably didn't even teach them. Or they were at the age where they weren't even ready for that. It's not like they went and took advantage of those girls. Those girls were throwing themselves at them. And for, you know, guys, when they're at that stage in their life, it's very hard to resist that. Like, if it's hard for me to resist it, it's very hard for them to. I can't imagine what it's like for a guy to try to resist that while you're also going through all of that. So women should give men a little bit of slack, because if a man is willing to stay with you and even share his resources with you, he cares about you. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to do that. And there is going to come a time where if you keep taking advantage of him, or men in general, you're going to get older and men are not going to want you. You can still be pretty as you're older, but you're never going to be on the same level as someone who's like 20 years younger than you. So you have to have more than just, oh, I'm just going to take money from the guy and never give anything in return. At some point, sex is not going to be enough. Just say that. Keep doing yoga. Keep yourself nimble and flexible. Make sure you got that gawk down, you know? Can't believe I just said that. I was waiting to use that word. I heard someone say it and I was like, I'm going to use that someday. But that's not going to be enough. He has to know that you are someone who has his back. You know, when my partner decided to marry me, because we were dating for a while and I moved in with him and it was rough because he was still expecting, because he had been cheated on in his past by both his girlfriends. He only had 2 girlfriends before me. He's a nerd. But he's only had 2 girlfriends before me, and they were long relationships, and both of them left. And he is, if you don't understand him, it's very easy to be like, you know, I'm done with this. But I saw through that, and we ended up together, and I am fiercely loyal to a fault. That's why I got hurt so much in the past, because people would do crap to me. I would see flags, and I'd be like, no, I love this person. I will do everything I can to show that I love this person, 100% sacrifice myself, lay my life down for this person kind of person. It's an INFP fault. It's an INFP trait. It's just, INFPs in the chat, you'll know what I'm talking about. And there were so many times when things happened and I was there for him. I let him lead. I don't try to overthrow and overstep him at every turn. I have an opinion. I still say my mind, but he told me that you make me feel like a man. You make me feel wanted, and I don't feel like you're going to just up and leave me. I was very loyal to him, and we had to have that talk because it got to the point where he also took that for granted at times, and I was ready to leave. And we stayed and we worked it out, and we both work from home, you know, for the most part. We worked outside, but then we work from home, and we're joking about the COVID divorces because people never had to actually live with each other long term. We're both homebodies. We're both gamers. We both love tech. Like, we both are homebodies. So we had all that stuff we had to work out in the beginning. We worked out in the beginning, and I cook for him. I clean. I help take care of the dogs. I would do anything for him. And there was something that happened in his life. Well, two things. He got in a bad accident and he was okay, but I dropped everything and I took care of him. Like, he realized at that point, wow, this woman is amazing. And he basically told me that. And he's like, "Want to get married?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want a wedding." I remember saying that. I don't like attention. I don't like big parties. I didn't want to, you know what ring I'm wearing right now? I'm wearing a silicone ring. And I got for like $20. That's my ring. And I got him one. We both have platinum rings. I told him, I said, I do not want to spend over $200 for a ring. It's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. I do not understand the notion of spending 20 grand on a piece of jewelry you're gonna wear on your finger that can get lost. Why wouldn't you invest in a house or something of appreciating value? Personally, me, no. So I was like, look, I don't need any of that. The platinum ring, we're not even wearing it because it's too hard on the fingers, and we just have it in a little box. That's our married ring. And then I bought some silicone rings, and they're the best thing ever. Oh my God. They can come in all sorts of colors. They're bendy. You can shower with them. It's great. I love it. We went to the Justice of the Peace. We got married. Nobody was there but us and the judge. It was amazing. I would never change a thing about it. And there was this other thing that happened where it was very private, and it was something from his past, and I found out. And basically he was like, wow, you accepted me even though you know this about me. You know, because there's some personalities where people, let's say, it's not any weird kinky stuff or anything like that. Like, it's nothing like that. But there's some things where, like, let's say someone killed someone in their past, right? Lost control, DUI, whatever. Not saying that's what he did, but I'm saying there are situations in the past where people find out about stuff like that and they're like, nah, it's a deal breaker for me. And there was just certain deal breakers that would, if anybody else had been with the person, they would leave. I didn't leave. When I love someone, I love them hard, and I never stop. My whole being is to protect that person, to love that person, and to serve that person. And when he realized that, that's when he was like, and he never used to be into marriage. And he was like, no, you're the one I want to marry. And here we are today. And it is a wonderful relationship. I told you I would share that part of myself someday. I love him to pieces. Is he conventionally attractive? No. I think I'm average. I don't even think I'm like supermodel pretty. And he looks like a typical computer tech programmer. Whatever the whole media thing is for that, that's him. He's shorter. He's like, that's my guy. Like, to me, he is the most attractive person on the face of the fucking planet. I look at him every time and I melt and I get all juicy inside, and I'm just like, damn, that's my husband. Look how smart he is. Damn, baby, you programmed that bot. What? Baby, you taught yourself how to weld? You taught yourself how to do the car? Damn, baby, what? Like, to me, oh my God. Like, if I had gotten a freaking Chad, thank God I ended up marrying the Chads. Because if I had married one of those guys, it would have they're just pretty. That's basically all it is. There's nothing else. They don't have to do anything else because they're pretty. That's it for them. There's nothing in that. It's so empty. But with a guy like my partner, man, if I had to do it all over again, I would, maybe he would choose someone else. I don't know. But I wouldn't choose. I would be like, my next life, I can choose anybody I want. I'm going to find him. To the ends of the earth, I will find this man again. He's perfect. Like, not as a human, he has flaws, obviously, but he is perfect. And when he gets those little gruffy things I'm sure his other girlfriends didn't like, yeah, he hurts me sometimes, but I'm like, you know what? Nah, he's pop. Like, damn, I'm sorry. I'm going, but just, that's the way that you're supposed to be with that person. That's how you're supposed to feel about that person. I was paying for him for the longest while. I made more money than him. He's making more money than me now. But when we were dating and when we were going into that, I was the one carrying in the money. He wasn't making anything. And there was one time where I was like, bro, I love you. And I had to speak up for myself because I knew if I didn't, humans are humans. And they're going to take you for granted if you don't stand up for yourself and lay certain boundaries. So I had to tell him, like, look, I love you. And, but you got to do something. You need to get out of this rut that you're in right now You know, I get it. You can't just sit on computer day after day looking at tits. Like, you need to do something. I can't just be giving you money, you know, and dishing, you're not doing anything in return. Like, that's not cool. I mean, he was doing stuff like around the house. He fixes the cars and stuff like that. But I knew that if he didn't get out of that, like, my money's not going to be enough for us long term to do what we need to do. And we need to be doing this together. When I met you, this is what you said you wanted to do. So when you have that first impression of someone, they tell you, this is what I stand for. This is what I want to do. You can't then change it up. It's like a girl wearing makeup, and that's how you think she actually looks, and she lies about it and never tells you, and then you find out, sheesh, like, damn, I mean, wow, I don't know what to do at this point. I'm stuck. Thought that was your actual face, you know? And he got out of the rut he was in, and I encouraged him. I said, you can do this, you can do that. You have so many freaking talents. You're computer minded and computer savvy. Like, you know, come on, man. This is not the guy I met. Like, this is you, bro. And he got out of it. Sometimes, like what he did with me with moving down there, you have to kick that person in the ass with some tough love. And now, I almost said something. I don't want to say it. Some people know, but I'm not ready to say it yet. But anyway, let's just say he's very successful in the tech world. So saying all of that and just sharing all of that personally in this long ass video of me playing Lost Ark, we need to respect each other. We need to respect each other. Women, you need to respect men. Men need to respect women. It's not just a one side fit all. It's not just, oh, women get everything they want and, you know, men need to bow down to us. No. And it's not the other way around either. We have to meet in the middle. People get angry and say all females are bad, and women get angry and say all men are bad. There has to be a balance. It's very annoying and very cultish when people in the relationship sphere, in the politics sphere, in the sports sphere, just make a blanket statement about everyone of a certain whatever and just say everyone is like that. It doesn't leave much room for discourse, and it's not very tolerant and progressive. Anyway, that's just my take on that. I just thought it was interesting, and I have thoughts sometimes. I just want to share that because I want the world to be better. And I know realistically it's not always going to be, because humans are humans. Humans are always going to be assholes. We're animals. Our natural inclination is to be tribalistic. But if we can have conversations with each other and at least help on a small scale individually, I think that things will get better, at least around us. If we try our best to make things better around us in our spheres, and we don't try to change the world on a grand scale, because that's impossible, but we each take responsibility in trying to help us to be better individually, I think that's when we'll make a difference on a whole. You know what I mean? Like, everyone take accountability kind of situation. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was fun. If you're interested in this game, it's called Lost Ark. Oh my god, I'm so addicted to it. I love MMOs, but I don't really have as much time to play them as I used to because the grinding, holy shit. That's why I had to go into mage class, because I was like, man, farming these freaking mobs is annoying. I need some AoE so that I could do that. And that was easier because if I'm playing by myself, it's just easier playing with someone else as well. But Lost Ark kind of has a good pace. There's some people who think it's kind of monotonous. I don't. I like that there's so many cutscenes in it. So it's a story. The story is very, you know, the acting is kind of, but I do like it because there are those cutscenes to look forward to. And you get a mount. We were playing New World for the longest while, and it was annoying because there was no mount. Why would you put out a game like that to be on par with World of Warcraft and not have a fucking mount in the game, and you're walking most of the time? Like, this is annoying. But you get a mount fairly easy, fairly early on in this game. I already sunk $70 in it buying mounts. You get a raptor too you can ride at some point. So it's fun. It's fast-paced enough. You still go through everything. I'm playing with other people, but it's still fast-paced or even-paced enough that you don't feel as though you're sinking your time and 90% of it is you grinding. You're literally doing quests that tie in with the story, and that's what I love about this freaking game. So you'll see more gameplay on that. It's on Steam. If you want like a fast mount off the bat, you can buy the Founders Pack. But yeah, it's interesting. That's what I've been playing like almost every day now. I haven't even touched Arceus yet, the Pokemon Arceus. I've been meaning to. I have my Switch out. It's on standby. I'm like, I'm gonna play that, but I've been playing Lost Ark. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.
If you go on a date with a guy and you don't offer to pay your share, you weren't taught right. If you go on a date and he doesn't pay, he wasn't taught right.